Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the NWR Virtual Healthcare Day for November 2021. My name is Finn Blake, and I am your host for this afternoon. Up next this afternoon, we have Uscom, which is listed on the ASX under the code UCM. Uscom is an innovative medical technology company specialising in development and marketing of premium, non-invasive cardiovascular and pulmonary medical devices. Uscom has 3 practice-leading suites of devices in the field of cardiac, vascular, and pulmonary monitoring. The Uscom 1A Advanced Hemodynamic Monitor, Uscom BP Plus, Central Blood Pressure Monitor, and Uscom Spirosonic Digital Ultrasonic Spirometers. Joining me today is Dr. Rob Phillips. He is the Chairman and CEO of the company. I will say before we get stuck into it that if anyone in the audience would like to submit a question for Rob for the Q&A session at the end of the presentation, then please don't hesitate to put your question in the Q&A panel on your screen at any time throughout the whole presentation. So without further ado, I will give it straight over to Rob.
Great, thank you, Finn, and thank you for that introduction, and welcome to viewers to this presentation and update. I'm sure many of you have seen Uscom and been involved a little bit in evaluating what we're doing, but we're sort of meeting an inflection point. And this is a really good opportunity for us to share with you what our vision is and what the next 2 to 5 years look like from our point of view. So the presentation's Uscom New Growth, and that's exactly what we're about. I guess from our point of view, it's been very clear, and that is the choice is simple. Do we continue growing at 24% PA, or do we invest in a new growth at an inflection point in the company's history? And for us, that choice is very straightforward. And that's what I hope to explain today. Uscom is a people company, and we've got a vision to build a world-leading medical technology enterprise, combining life-saving cardiovascular and pulmonary technologies that establish new standards of medical excellence and global academic recognition with sustainable profits. And that explanation really is very much dependent on the quality of the people that we have. We are a global organisation, and our people come from all over the world. We coordinate from cultures of the United States, through Europe, through China, through Southeast Asia, and our headquarters, of course, are in New South Wales and Sydney, Australia. An overview of what we do. We're ASX listed, as we say, cardiovascular, pulmonary, profitable and cash flow positive, China, Europe. We've got cash in the bank and debt free. Last year was our first operating cash flow positive year. We've got high growth and margins. 9-year, we've grown total receipts by 535% and 24% CAGR. Huge global addressable markets, and we address 75% of all global mortality, our devices. Global ambitions, it's more than an ambition. We are globally located. We have operations in Auckland, in Sydney, Singapore, Beijing, Budapest, London, and Los Angeles. And this is the network that we have built around the world that will act as the hubs for distribution and sales organisations. It provides us with an incredible opportunity to manage international operations and globalise. It's an off-balance sheet asset. It takes a lot of money to get organised. Organising a bank account alone is a challenge. But we have all of these operations now, and they're integrated in terms of accounting and reporting back to Australian head office. Now it's about building out, and each of those operations will become a centre in themselves and a profitable entity. We've got patented Apex technologies. We do world-leading digital medical technologies. We are substantially into software and hardware, and increasingly we're spending time developing software. We've got approximately 200 IP submissions, R&D supported product pipeline. So our future's assured, and we have a fundamental network and hub globally established. We have new products, and we are working on those all the time. If you look at the world, you can see the relationship to our main centres. We cover five continents, and these are each expanding. For this year, Beijing, which of course is China, and Budapest, which is Europe, was profitable independently for the first time. We've got 2 manufacturing sites currently, and we're currently looking at expanding our manufacturing to meet with the anticipated demand and the increased number of products that we are releasing into the market. Our premium product, the Uscom 1A, we've sold over 1,500 worldwide, and they are installed in the premier hospitals worldwide, and they're saving lives every day. So it's a very powerful thing from a science company point of view to actually develop a product which actually does save lives, and it's in the process of saving lives. We've managed a 24% CAGR over the last 9 years, and we've been in business quite a long time. Now, that's not that we're inefficient. It means we're putting down strong foundations, and it has taken that time. If you want to develop high quality medical technologies, it takes 5 years to conceive of them, 5 years to build them, 5 years to validate them, and 5 years to get them into the market. So there's your 20 years before you even start. And if you look at the great medical device companies, they all have a history of 30 or 40 years before they actually really control the marketplace. IP, of course, is what drives and supports us, and it's where we see our future. The important thing, of course, is growth markets, and we are cardiovascular pulmonary. As I said, the applications are in critical care, clinics, CROs, pharma, and hospital in home. So all the way from the most serious environments to the home management of simple and common conditions. We take care of neonates, children, adults, and the elderly, and our devices are responsible for the care of conditions which account for 75% of global mortality, which is really very substantial. The Uscom 1A is a $21.6 billion USD market with a CAGR of an estimated 4.8%. BP Plus, 1.48 billion with a CAGR of 11.3%. Spirosonic, 1.3 billion with CAGR of estimated 8.16%. And Blue Sky, which is the e-health arm of Uscom that we're developing at the moment, is predicted to grow from 59.5 billion USD over 7 years at 19.4%. So the Uscom e-health system is what brings together all of our premium products. It's a software device which sits over all our hardware. Just to revisit our results for last year, our cash receipts were up 21%. And it's the first time we've exceeded 5.5 million. Our sales by product are predominantly still Uscom. Although Spirosonic is becoming very popular now, particularly with COVID, it's going to become a very important part of our product portfolio, and we're already experiencing a very significant uptrend in demand, both in China and in Europe, particularly with post-COVID, for example. BP Plus is on the International Space Station. It's a revolution in management of hypertension, and it's reaching market now. We have finished the software that accompanies it. And this is where we find we add value. Not only do we make the hardware, but we develop the software, which allows for very high level analysis and diagnosis. Sales by region, China, Asia is obviously our most important territory, 64%. Europe is substantial at 26% and growing. And the US also is rapidly growing now. Our sales sustained growth has been really our story for the last 9 years, and it's been a step-by-step pathway. We've been relatively conservative in the way we've managed capital, the way we've invested, and how we've grown our markets. But the important thing is we have continued to grow at 24%. And if your financial advisor offers you 10 years at 24%, I would think most investors would take that in a heartbeat. One of the really big developments in our company is the expansion into e-health technology. And simply what that is combining the power of each of our technologies into a single central analytics storage package, which allows us to apply all kinds of analysis and distribution of data, pay-per-use modelling, rental subscription partnerships, data licensing, etc. So it opens a whole new world of funding. And I like to think of it as a revenue cascade, because there are many ways that you can apply the power of our frontline technologies once you have it in a digital platform. And that's exactly where we're focused and where we're moving forward at the moment. This is where we see the growth. If you look forward, the data projections for e-health are absolutely astronomical. It's expected over the next 7 years to grow from 60 billion to 206 billion. So from our point of view, being at the centre of the e-health revolution is really important for us, and it's expected to underwrite our growth foreseeably. It also firmly positions us as manufacturers of both hardware and software. And that's an exciting part of diversification for us. And we are doing deals now that will underwrite our e-health system for the next 5 to 10 years. COVID's been a terrible thing, and it's created social and political and economic havoc worldwide. Uscom, thankfully, has been a very powerful part of the solution to that problem. And both of our products, the Uscom 1A and the Spirosonic Air, which is the new digital ultrasonic spirometer, have great application in COVID, and in fact are taking big roles internationally in management and care of these folk. Spirosonic Air, as I say, is really a sector-leading technology in an area which is becoming increasingly important. Asthma, COPD, COVID, and occupational lung disease are increasingly becoming economic loads on communities. And the Spirosonic Air is a totally wireless induction charge device that connects to your app on your phone and communicates wirelessly to a central storage area where your clinician can diagnose it and deliver therapy to you, or encourage you to go straight to a hospital where you'll be taken care of immediately. It provides reports and also is driven by a system subscription to fund the use of the technology. We're very excited about this product, and we're finishing off the apps now. The Android app is completed. The iOS app is expected to be completed by Christmas. And we now have SDKs that will allow many software CROs and enterprises that are setting up to do hospital in-home care that can simply just plug in our devices. So that SDK capability is a really powerful one for us, and will introduce us into a lot of these very big digital home care systems. Uscom can be the generic spirometry lung function testing technology for that. Hospital in home, VentiTest is the digital ultrasonic calibration device for ventilators. Ventilator-induced lung injury is a fact. And with the increasing number of ventilators, there's been an increasing appreciation of the importance of actually calibrating and ensuring that the settings on the ventilator actually are the settings that are, or values that are being delivered to the lungs when they're set. And these things need calibration every day. This is a very simple, very accurate technology that can be applied to all ventilators. And we're doing the final stages of the development of some of the calibration technologies within this and algorithms that we need to be able to take it to all ventilator manufacturers and say, we have got the best ventilator calibrator. You should be using it in your device. So that's for the year ahead for us, and that's very exciting. This year, we look like we'll have 7 new approvals. which will increase our region products by up to 140%. So we are going to need to significantly upregulate our activities in terms of manufacturing and distribution. It's really, our business is about approvals. Where are we approved and how long it takes us to approve and how many products we have. So it is a very exciting time for us. 140% increase in product regions is very exciting and has incredible ramifications on revenue. With our expansion and our rapid growth, it's suddenly important to recognise we're operating over 5 continents. We have to coordinate finance and management. Each region has accounts that report locally and centrally. Manufacturing. How do we manufacture a much increased number of products? How do we manage costs? How do we manage inventory? How do we manage stock? We need to have stock on hand. So it's a very important growth phase for us in manufacturing and will require investment. Marketing, sales and distribution. This is where the power from sales comes from. Global coordination of branding, messaging, clinical sales materials, education, training, forecasting and results monitoring. We have to become incredibly sophisticated and deliver that sophistication across the globe. So that shifts us from being a Sydney operation with say 10 people to a very significantly upgraded international organisation. Importantly, of course, we continue with our R&D and are continually working on new concepts for new products. China, of course, is important for us and we can't leave that out of the story, but we are building a global business and China is basically the leverage point for us. We've got recognised by the China National High Technology Enterprise, by the PRC Ministry for Science and Technology. We're a AAA financial enterprise. We've just got 2 10-year Uscom 1A patents, which will provide us protection for our principal technology in China for the next 10 years. And we are increasingly being reimbursed at a government level in the provinces. So we are becoming written into the healthcare systems. Once we have the Uscom device, which is what all of these technologies are about, we've got our NMPA for the BP Plus, and we're expecting NMPA for Spirosonic next year. We can feed this into this infrastructure that we've built in China. Our regional strategy is quite straightforward, and it's to look at each of the principal territories that we have, expand our distribution, prepare BP Plus and Spirosonic marketing and distribution, develop domestic manufacturing in China, increase manufacturing capacity in Europe for Spirosonic. There is going to be a significant up-regulation of demand for Spirosonic. Uscom Southeast Asia, we need to find more distributors and develop it as a regulatory hub. It's an incredibly dynamic, fast-growing territory that in many ways is overlooked by many medical device companies, but it is growing as fast as anywhere in the world and potentially on projections will have the strongest economies in a few years' time. Uscom in the US is progressing well, and we are noticing the post-pandemic response, and we are getting increased demand for all of our products, although the BP Plus and the Spirosonic are still in the final stages of FDA. So the news, what have we been doing since the close of business at 30th of June 2021? Well, I can tell you we've been busy. Russian regulatory approvals for Uscom 1A with early sales, 2 10-year patents. Spirosonic Air passes log 6 high-level disinfection testing. This is really critical because any device that people blow in has to be able to be disinfected easily, particularly in the era of the COVID pandemic. And this is the highest level of disinfection. It's most simple and it can be applied at a home level. So it means that Spirosonic Air technologies have a distinct advantage from a health, sanitation, disinfection point of view over all other competitors. We are looking at local manufacturing in China and actively discussing those. Technology partnerships with US e-health leader Connexa has expanded. New publications demonstrate the effectiveness of BP Plus in AF. Reimbursement approvals in Shanghai. McMaster's Beijing hypertension study gets updated BP Plus reporters. And we've also decided to have a rights issue for Uscom shareholders to participate in new growth. And BP Plus collaboration with Menzies Institute in the IDEAL randomised controlled trial is continuing to collect data. So we've been very busy for a small company. We look at the difficult part of investors' perspective, and what you can see is a disconnect between our cash receipts and growth and our Uscom share price. And I think this is probably explained by the unique features of the Australian market. We continue to grow and will continue to grow regardless. Just a small observation, and it's interesting when you look at the great companies that are built around the world. One of the things that outstandingly is conspicuous is that founders lead to success. And if you look at why they're successful, they carry an entrepreneurial spirit, they've got unrivaled understanding of the business, long-term incentives, and they've got alignment with shareholders. They've got shared interest. Mostly, they've got passion. And that's the only way to build a great business. New growth, as part of our new growth, we're raising up to 5.17 mil in a 3 for 10 rights issue, priced at 11 cents, which is a 17% discount to VWAP, and it's available to all Uscom shareholders. So it's a totally fair, equitable opportunity for all Uscom shareholders to benefit from what we see as a significant upside and undervalue of the market at the moment. The use of funds will be for manufacturing, probably in China, expand our global distribution, develop our e-health software platforms, support and educate distributors and customers, manufacture devices. We actually need to build devices for stock. And of course, it will support ongoing strategic initiatives, which will lead to incremental new growth at the right time. So for Uscom, the choice is simple. It's either to continue growing at 24% per annum or invest in new growth at an inflection point in the company's history. And we've elected to take the company down this course, and we will significantly invest in these very opportune times, and that is the market's right, the products are right, and our ambitions are right. So it's coming together at the right time. In summary, FY21 was a great year of investment. We put a lot into the company, developing the products, and we got great results. We were profitable in Europe and China for the second time, Europe for the first time, and we were cash flow positive first time ever. And we got multiple new devices. So this will be the foundation on which our growth will be predicated. For FY22, it is about new growth. We've got planned expansion and growth with new manufacturing to meet increased demand, increased distribution, new R&D initiatives, operational restructure for enhanced profit, and a strategic corporate review to identify new growth opportunities. So it's a very exciting time for Uscom, and I'm delighted to have the opportunity to share that vision with the guests of the NWR Health Forum today. And thank you very much, and I'd be pleased to take any questions.
Thanks so much, Rob. I've got a couple of questions that we can squeeze in. The first being, thanks, Rob. What's UCM's China distribution strategy? Is it a direct sale, regional sub-distribution?
Chinese sales pathways are always quite complex, and to be fair, it's a mix of direct. We have our own people, we have our own clinical people. We also have a network of distributors, and they have a network of sub-distributors. And so depending on the region, will depend on the strategy that we take on board. And sometimes those strategies change, because distribution is about people. And when you get good people, you work with them. From our point of view, the easy model is us to sit at the top of the pyramid and sell off our products down the cascade to the end user. It rarely works like that, and especially not in China.
Talking about products, Rob, are you looking to develop any new products, or are you just concentrating on your current devices as of now?
No, absolutely not. We definitely have a pipeline. As I said, we've got 200 patent applications and ownerships in place. And out of those, there will be both significant new products as well as significant product developments.
Beautiful. Probably got one more for you, Rob. What is the main reason that you're confident in the Uscom business as we approach the new year?
Look, I think there are a couple of reasons. One, I'm in China at the moment, as you can see from behind me, and I've been here probably partially pandemic related, but because the opportunities are quite amazing. But it takes attention and time, and it's the opportunities here are fantastic. The opportunities that we're now getting fed back from the US as they come out of the pandemic are very positive. And Europe was before they went back into the more recent pandemic. But business will prevail and we will do well out of those. The fact that we've had so many new regional approvals, which has increased our business footprint, if you like, by 140% is fantastic. The fact that we will be diversifying into other territories, the fact we'll be doing a lot more e-health, and we are doing deals with people in e-health. A lot of people in e-health are looking at how they can work with us. All of those things add together. Remember, almost all of our results up until this year have been from Uscom 1A, one product in China, Europe, and the US. What we're now talking about is 3 suites of products across all of those territories and expanding into Southeast Asia. So predicting the numbers and the values of that is going to be very difficult. But on the other side, nothing will stop us from being prepared for the opportunities and driving those things forward. That's what our strategy is.
Beautiful, Rob. Exciting times for the company. Thank you so much for your time today.
Very much. My pleasure. Thanks, Steve.